Meantime, this is a Fox News alert. Into the death of legendary actor Gene Hackman, the sheriff of Santa Fe County now says there are no signs of foul play, but that they are not ruling it out. Hackman and his wife were found dead in their New Mexico home by maintenance workers.
Right, Jonathan Hunt, he's got the very latest for us from Los Angeles. We're getting some new details. Apparently there was this news conference that happened, Jonathan, but the details seem to be slow to emerge, making this an even more murky situation.
Yeah, and the Santa Fe County Sheriff in this news conference was essentially as clear as mud once again, Sandra. What he said was, according to local reporters who were at that news conference, they are not ruling out foul play in the death of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy, but there were no obvious signs of foul play. We also have received from the Sheriff's Department there in Santa Fe their search warrant affidavit, which revealed that the bodies of Gene Hackman and his wife were found in separate rooms. Hackman was found in a mudroom of the house. His wife was found in a bathroom. She apparently was lying next to a space heater, and close to her was a prescription pill bottle and some scattered pills. A dog, one of the couple's dogs, was also in that bathroom, apparently lying in a closet, also deceased. Another dog was found loose wandering around the property. The bodies were discovered on Wednesday, as we understand it, by a couple of maintenance workers who regularly went to the property but said they had not seen the couple for around 2 weeks. That's when the sheriff's deputies went, and they, looking at the scene, didn't find any obvious signs, they said, of a gas leak or a carbon monoxide leak, and they concluded that the scene itself was suspicious enough, in their words, to warrant an investigation. Now, that might be also a statement of the obvious, Sandra, in that if you walk into a house and you find the bodies of two people in two separate rooms, you're going to think there needs to be an investigation. So in a sense, that is a statement of the obvious, but the fact that they use the word suspicious, the fact that they are now saying, in the words of the sheriff himself, that they are not ruling out foul play, all leads to all of these questions, which it seems are going to be a little while to be answered now. That investigation ongoing, but the bottom line is Hollywood and the world, Sandra, has lost a legendary actor in 95-year-old Gene Hackman. Sandra?
All right, Jonathan Hunt, I know you'll stay on that and bring us updates as we get them. Thank you so much, John.
All right, let's bring in TMZ's Branson Quirk. He is here with some thoughts about all of this. I'm just reading through the affidavit here, and there's a number of things, obviously, that look suspicious to the police. One was where Betsy was found and the condition that she was found in. The fact that there was a dead dog in a closet and that Gene Hackman was found in a completely different room. What do you know of what all of this says?
Well, you're exactly right. There was definitely a few things that led them to make that decision to get that affidavit, to get that search warrant for this. And these are the reasons I can give you right now, as we know at the very, very moment, is that when they entered the house, the authorities first stumbled upon Betsy, and she was laying down inside the bathroom on her side. And what they also noticed is that there was a space heater that was next to her that also had fallen down. So what they're believing at the moment, from what they see, is that that space heater had fallen down because she had fallen on it. And then, just like you said, Gene Hackman was in a completely separate room of the house. He was actually in the kitchen, and he appeared in the same way that Betsy did. There was some decomposition. There was signs of mummification on the body. So again, it's unclear right now how long these two were dead for, but what we know is that there was a door that had been busted open, which is another sign that caused them to want to investigate this. We know a neighbor was concerned and walked up to the window. We got the 911 call. It's on TMZ.com. Very distressful call where they're looking into the window, talking all about it. But with all these these factors, like they had mentioned previously, this just gives a reason to investigate this much further because they're not going to rule out any signs of foul play. We know in that news conference they doubled down on that. They said there was no obvious signs of foul play, but from everything I just said, and including, I also forgot to mention, there was a orange pill bottle next to Betsy's body, scattered with pills all over the place. So with all of those facts laid down on the table here, I think we're going to find out a little bit more as we go along here.
Branson, Sandra here. So what are we learning from this 911 call that TMZ's been reporting on, that they've been able to obtain, at least some of it at least, that this was a caretaker who made the phone call but was outside the house, couldn't get access, but saw the bodies. Surprising that so many days could pass where they were deceased, but no one was coming and going from the house to learn that they had passed. What did you find out from that 911 call?
Well, that's definitely the most interesting part here, why nobody noticed this for so long. I mean, we put it on our website as well. We haven't actually seen Betsy and Jean out in public all the way back to March 28th, 2024. So we haven't seen them in a long time. So it's unclear on the situation on who's checking on Jean, who's checking on Betsy, and what kind of contact they have with family, with associates each coming day. But what we know is that that specific person that was on that 911 call was actually an associate of Jean Hackman's family, a part of the team that apparently, again, we don't know the total detail here, but what we know is that this person obviously does check on Jean and Betsy, you can assume from time to time. But in this 911 call, it was very distressing actually, and this person did not go into the house. They are specifically were sitting outside of the home looking into the window, and what they saw was the bodies laying there. And like I said, very distressing. You can tell they're in a fit, a moment where they don't know what's going on. They're in a panic. There's a part as well in this 911 call where they constantly are just saying, you know, damn, over and over again, because they're just so stressed out. And that's when authorities arrived, went in, got that search warrant, and it was just super suspicious after all the things that they saw. But definitely a distressing scene. And we also know authorities didn't even reveal any of this news until after midnight last night. This actually happened yesterday afternoon. But yeah, it's a very crazy scene here.
Yeah, I mean, what's very intriguing about all of this is this idea that there seemed to be evidence that both of them had fallen suddenly in different rooms of the house. What would cause somebody to fall suddenly? It had been postulated by the family earlier in this investigation that perhaps there was some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning that was going on, but that would not cause you to fall suddenly. You just sort of go to sleep and never wake up. As well, the detectives say in this affidavit that they conducted testing to determine if there were signs of a possible carbon monoxide leak or poisoning. They advised the fire department did not locate signs of a carbon monoxide leak or poisoning, and that as of now there are no signs or evidence indicating there were any problems associated with the pipes in and around the residence. So the big question is what caused, if they did fall down suddenly, which the affidavit, the detectives seem to suggest that they did, what caused them to do that in completely separate rooms of the house?
Well, I think the most intriguing part of that question is the one thing I can think of is the dog that also passed in the home. We know that there were two other healthy dogs that they investigated, and the dogs were totally healthy. So there's one dog dead as well, and I think that begs the question of exactly what happened here. It could have been chemical. Who knows? Who knows?
All right, Branson, thank you.
Thanks, Branson. Appreciate it. All right, we are following all of the breaking news out of this mystery, and we will be joined by a forensic pathologist, Joseph Scott Morgan, in just a bit, so stay with us for that.
All right, a live look now at the White House. Fox News alert, where President Trump is set to host a joint news conference with the British Prime Minister. We are expecting that to begin soon, and we will bring you there when that happens, plus this.